Okay, so like I said a year ago, a lot of people didn't know how to clean during this COVID apocalyptic zombie warfare craziness. Um, and there used to be this thing that I used to use on my linoleum in an old house, and it was baking soda, peroxide, like a gallon of water to peroxide, like a cup of peroxide, uh, half cup of baking soda, and Dawn dish soap. Now, when I was cleaning, like a lot of people like to say bleach, ammonia, whatever. Well, your best friend is going to be peroxide because it will kill any live, like pathogens, any like types of parasitic shit. But you want to I use that, hot water, and dish soap. And Dawn dish soap, it will, just like with fleas and stuff like that, it will entrap it and make it so it can't breathe. And it will suffocate. So if there is any parasitic type stuff, like I cleaned out my sister's walls and there's like these long, like stringy things like in the water after, and I'm like, ooh. That was after they did all the heat pumps. They fumigated the apartment buildings that people were in through the heat pump systems because there has to be refrigeration for a heat pump. But I also did salt. I made people baths at my sister's apartment. A little bit different for each person, but pretty much salt because it doesn't like salt. That's why if you saw me throwing stuff a year ago down through the river, I checked it and it sugars and all that. I tested it at my Uncle Barry's, and then I went north, and then I went down, and I threw different things with different stuff that it was chasing after in the river. I knew that salt water would kill it. I went around different islands with that car, threw stuff in, and I knew that the tide was coming in, so therefore it would go down, and the tide would come in, and salt water would kill it. So yeah, that's what I was doing last year. I went down to the bird sanctuary in Frankfort, and then I headed north. There was a big storm coming, and then yeah. But I pretty much use peroxide, dish soap, hot water, salt. I just did a salt water and peroxide stuff in my ears, trying to change it up a little bit. Neti pots. Yes, neti pots. Now, I don't know why people are saying that to drink peroxide, you do not drink peroxide ever. They were talking about this last spring in Florida, how supposedly Trump had said it. Yeah, you can swish it in your mouth, but do not swallow. Never swallow. Never swallow it. I've used this with salt water, gone back and forth. That's how I got stuff to blow out of my tonsils. But it wasn't, that was a whole other story from a hospital. So pretty much, yeah, you can survive this. Water is going to be your friend. Remember, if you're low, get Pedialyte, drink water. Get the clear kind. This stuff kind of likes to chase sugar sometimes, just like cancer. Cancer likes to attack sugar, so I eat a lot of sugar, trying to get it to go out of me. But yeah, this stuff will chase a lot of that. And remember, everybody's different. So don't go telling somebody what will definitely work for them if it worked for you. Because that's kind of like doctors practicing medicine. Every body is different. They practice medicine because everybody's different. They don't like do medicine or whatever. They practice medicine. And then there's a difference between malpractice and attempted murder and all that, which knowingly, like when they knowingly gave me a penicillin for my tooth, and like knowing I'm allergic to it, or like when they knowingly gave me death with dignity, or like when they knowingly knew that I wasn't my sister and gave me all of her psych meds, knowing that I was not her and that I'm allergic to those medications, and that they were all brain level, like antipsychotics and stuff like that. Those affect my brain levels. Now my brain levels are fine, except for like the cancer, clearly. But when I was given those antipsychotics and stuff that were not my prescription, it did cause a huge hemorrhage. And yeah, serotonins and dopamines, all that stuff. And my type of cancer needs to be treated with opiates. It has been this way since I was in middle school. I don't know why all of a sudden you guys want to change it, but some people aren't. I don't know why you guys are giving medications to other people, but not to the cancer patients. There's a lot of older people that I've met that said they stopped doing this in Boston. Yeah, my records aren't available. Yeah, so try to stay hydrated. Try to do what you can. Hopefully you're not passing gallstones for months like I am. And yeah, if any of you know my sister Melanie, and I mean my sister Melanie, she has a scar inside of her thigh. That other person does not. I don't know who she is, but she's not my sister. And she's terrifying, and she's been trying to get my children. If you know anything about her toes, I made them clear. She listened to me, she trusted me. Or if you're one of her many friends that I made a bath for and had you soak your head down under. I made them different for each person. A lot of garlic for some people, a lot of not garlic for others. And a lot of them felt a lot better. And also salt. I know that this kid was like that salt will kill this. I think if we can, I don't know where, but like the salt works that I used to get for when I got really sick as a child, we used my dad water softener through Rain Soft. Mine had big salt things that used to have to go, and that was the only way I could have any water. And my sister and I would break out. Naomi didn't seem to as much, but Melanie and I would get really sick if I drank other people's water, if it didn't have a lot of salt in it. And iodized salt is different. And that's why I'm wondering when they took the iodine out of bread exactly, because a lot of people's thyroids, because you used to get it through bread up until the 60s or the 70s, until the government took it out of the bread. Now remember, if you use iodine, don't ever put it to ingest it or to have it inside of you. Like my mother and I have it, we put it right here. It should take 3 days to disappear. If it goes away like in a couple hours, like my mother and I, it means you have an iodine deficiency, which means just keep putting it on the outside of your skin. No crevices, no breaks, not in your mouth, not in your eyes, not in a hole or a cut at all. And I know some of you are listening and some of you aren't. And some of you are watching, but some of you aren't listening. And some of you are listening, but some of you aren't watching. So if you guys could stop making fun of me, because this is serious, serious fucking shit that I've been trying to tell people that could have saved millions and millions of lives if you guys weren't just making fun of me. But yeah, maybe we could start throwing some salt bricks in the water, in the big crevices. Force it out to sea. Because if you guys haven't seen what's floating along over near the Philippine or Indian Ocean or whatever, that giant thing, I lured a few giant things out that day last year. There were other people that saw and took pictures as well. I tried to screenshot them, but they got deleted from my Google account. Which if Putin is in control of everything, then hey, I want to meet you. I'd like to talk. Yeah, so I think maybe doing that but we would all have to start and work as a team, and I would actually have to be there, be in charge. And whoever followed the Penobscot River for 45 years would have to be there as well, because it's not okay.